International Affairs Editor Philip Turle is with me here on set. Philip, it's not been a particularly good week for the Israeli Prime Minister, has it?
But it hasn't stopped him, Stuart, from taking the stage yesterday and more or less saying that he's going to continue doing exactly what he's been doing all the way down the line, and that is that he wants two things. First of all, to crush Hamas, and second, to get the release of the hostages. But there is growing criticism of the way he's handling this crisis, not only within Israel, but also around the world. And we've seen an upping of the ante over the past few days. Certainly from the United States, but also from the European Union and Canada. That letter that was signed early this week by Britain, France and Canada, saying that they were going to take action against Israel if it didn't stop the bombardment of the people of Gaza and the war in Gaza. We've also seen Britain saying that it was interrupting a trade deal with Israel from immediate effect and taking out sanctions against 3 West Bank settlers, 2 illegal settler outposts and 2 organisations, plus the summoning of the Israeli ambassador to the United Kingdom. So we've seen a certain increase in the pressure being placed on Benjamin Netanyahu, but I think that pressure is fairly limited in the fact that it's not going to really change very much on the ground for the Israeli president, or the Israeli prime minister rather, because he is pretty much determined and has shown no willingness to change tack or change path in what he's doing. And that's raised other concerns, I think, amongst Western leaders. First of all, the long-term plan for Gaza, which appears to be to clean it out of all the Palestinians, if possible. That's been turned down by the neighbours of the Gaza Strip in Israel, saying that they are not willing to take in any Palestinians in a bid for what Donald Trump has been calling the Riviera in Gaza to build Trump Towers and golf courses. But there is fear about ethnic cleansing going on there. And the other point that I think people are concerned about is the fact that there is a perception that Benjamin Netanyahu is putting his own personal career ahead of his political intentions because he wants to avoid going to court on accusations of offering business contracts in return for bribes. And while he's Prime Minister, he will not face any of those proceedings. And because he's dependent on the far right propping up his government, he has basically to cave into what they do, and that's why the war in Gaza is going on for so long and there's so much hardship for the Palestinians.
There are some signs, aren't there, that even Donald Trump seems to be turning his back on Netanyahu to some extent anyway. It was illustrated a little bit during Trump's trip to the Middle East.
Yeah, and I think it was noticeable to everybody that Donald Trump didn't actually go to see Benjamin Netanyahu when he was on that Middle East trip, basically for 2 reasons. First of all, because Donald Trump doesn't see eye to eye with the Israeli Prime Minister on the way of dealing with Iran. Netanyahu is up in arms against Donald Trump for negotiating with the Iranians on their nuclear deal. And secondly, because Donald Trump wants the war in Gaza over and he is tired of the continued bloodshed there. He's made no bones about the fact he wants this war over and done with so they can move on. That doesn't seem to be happening right now. Will it affect the way the US is investing in Israel? Not for the moment, probably. And remember, the US is the biggest exporter of weapons to Israel, with about 65.6% of those weapons exported to the Israelis.
Philip, just going to interrupt you. The Israeli Foreign Minister has just started speaking in English, reacting to that incident.